Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. And they're still going to be aggroed at me no matter what. Thank you, Minecraft 1.14. If I come down here, theoretically, if I go through here and try and pick up my stuff, these guys should not be mad, theoretically. And the theory was wrong! The theory was wrong! What is going on with my world? You guys are still mad too! No! No! We were friends! We were friends! No! Oh, are you guys good now? Oh, okay, cool. All right, no. I'll just come right through here. Perfect. I'm gonna come through this portal. And in here, are you guys good? No, of course you're not. Of course you're not. Why would you? That wouldn't even make sense if you guys were good. Why are you mad again? I've done nothing to you guys. All good things must come to an end. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 1 finale of the Minecraft Let's Play here on my channel. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been an absolutely amazing series here on the channel. Whenever we started this, we were a very small community. I think we had somewhere around 5,000 subscribers or so, and we have grown to over 30,000 subscribers, and it is just amazing. And this world means so much to me because this one has been over a year old. It is a huge part of my channel and everything that we've accomplished here. It's so great, and I love this world. I love everything that we are doing in it and are going to do in it. Season 2 is going to continue in this world. We're just going to be tackling our next big mega project. I'll talk more about that toward the end of the video, but in this video today, I want to give you guys a world tour where I give you the highlights of the world. I'm going to take you on a tour, just kind of going through the world bit by bit. I'm going to show you spawn. I'm going to show you our nether. I'm going to show you Atlantica. And then we're going to come back, and at the very, very end of the episode, I'm going to show you guys this build that you're watching on screen now. This is the Enchanted Forest, and it is going to be the very last build that we are doing in the Nightmare Before Christmas area. It is it. It is the wrap. This is done. We may do some touch-up work over on live streams in the future, but for the most part, this is where the Nightmare Before Christmas project ends. Anyway, guys, I do hope that you enjoy the rest of the video and on with the world tour. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolutely fantastic season here on the Minecraft Let's Play. We have gotten so many amazing builds into this world, and we're just getting started as Season 2 is right around the corner. However, in order to end off Season 1, I want to give you guys a world tour, and as with all of my world tours, I like to start at the world start. I like to start at spawn. This is where we spawned into the game, and this is where we began our adventure in Season 1. As you can see behind me, we have our chicken cooker that I still use to this day to provide us all of the food for this Let's Play. This is a very simple design that I got some inspiration from Azuma Void for the design, but his design was kind of broken, so I fixed it, and now my design is kind of broken. So this is an old design. It still works, but it's not as efficient as it could be, and I may come back and, mess with this thing at some point. I really feel like not touching really old things in this world in Season 2, though, just because nostalgia. I don't want to break things down from the starter episodes and redo them, because at this point, things kind of have a sentimental value. We're 70-something episodes into the Let's Play at this point, and touching things from the really great episodes, the early episodes of the Let's Play. At this point, it just feels weird. As we all know, this Let's Play is over a year old now, so touching things that are that old, I don't know. I don't like doing it. So I may just make up a brand new chicken cooker somewhere else in the world. But this one has provided me plenty of chicken. And in fact, here at the beginning of the tour, I'm going to go ahead and grab up some chicken because I don't know how long this tour is going to take. Next up, we have our Iron Golem farm. And this has seen many iterations over the course of our Let's Play. In fact, the thing barely even works anymore. I probably need to redo this design over yet again. I think this is the third design that we've come up with here in the world, and it's just using way too many villagers. It's got way too many entities up there, and it really needs to be redone once again. And this pitfall trap probably needs to be redone again as well. It's not on my top list of priorities, though, because I still have plenty of iron left over. I'm not going to run out of iron anytime soon. In fact, I think I still have full shulker boxes back in my base of iron as well. So once again, not super worried about that. This is also where I get a ton of my poppies from, obviously, and then I have just some junk thrown in here. I tend to just throw everything into chests as I go through the Let's Play. I don't like to throw away items unless I absolutely have to, so I tend to be kind of a hoarder. Our very first house over here is what we refer to in the series as the Hidey Hole. This is our first night dig-in, and this actually ended up being our base for quite a while, as you can see with all of the chests. And we also have a strip mine way down below, and we also have a villager breeding area that we used for quite a while here in the Let's Play. This is no longer in use, and there's no longer any villagers over here. I don't think. There may be some. No, there's not any. There are no villagers left over here anymore, but this was where I bred villagers up in order to, you know, get some cool trades, stuff like that, get mending books and all of that stuff. I moved most of my villager trading stuff over to our 1.14 village, and then they updated villagers like 4 times, and now those villagers are kind of obsolete, so we'll have to do something in Season 2 in order to get a good set of villagers back in the world. But anyway, that is of non-importance in today's episode. Over here, I always forget about this building and to show off this area in our world tour, so I'm going to try and remember it today. In fact, I'm going to try and remember all of the areas for our world today and give you guys a pretty comprehensive look at the entire world. I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut, but this is our slime farm, and this produces all of the slime balls that we could ever need for our world. In fact, if we go ahead and head down here, I'll go ahead and show you guys the guts of this farm, because it's kind of impressive. This is one of the earliest farms that we did here on the world, and it's still one of the best. Basically, what we have is these huge platforms that is 2 slime chunks right next to each other. Whenever the slimes spawn in, they hop over the edge because they're chasing after these iron golems, and they die down there on the magma. I don't know why we don't have any spawning in at the moment, but, yeah, I can promise that this world does definitely work and it does spawn slimes. We're not in peaceful for some reason, are we? No, we're still in hard. I guess they just don't want to spawn for us right now. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. This is an old pumpkin farm that I have not removed, so that is fine. Nothing to see there. And then down below, we just have a minecart system underneath those magma blocks. I don't feel like I need to show that. Man, I wonder why nothing's spawning, though. That's very strange. Normally, this place is filled with mobs. I thought maybe whenever I copied over the world, because this is a world copy that I plan on doing a world download in a specific area. I'm not going to put a world download in the description because we've had some issues with that in the past, so I'm not going to be doing that. But I will be giving a world download to some of the members of our community. So this is a backup. And I figured maybe whenever I did the backup that somehow the world got changed to peaceful, but doesn't appear that way. I just don't know why the slimes weren't spawning. Such a weird little thing there. Anyway, let's go ahead and head down here. This was our very first mob farm. I think this was created even before the slime farm. This is our spider farm, and it's kind of just a hole in the ground, but when you get down here, this is a pretty cool design, and basically what happens is... Oh, hi there! You are definitely new. Please do not blow up the world. This is for the world download. Please. Please, please, please do not blow up the world. Thank you. How did you spawn down here? Interesting. I was not expecting that. Okay. If you guys get the world download, know that there's an issue. Anyway, this is our spider farm, and right now I have it in a semi-AFK configuration. That way I can just sit down here and collect up string in order to make wool. But basically what happens is our spiders spawn in there, they make their way through a water elevator, end up in this chamber, and then get pushed across by water and into this lava. This lava is then, or I guess all of the drops are being picked up by hoppers, and then all of the drops are ending up down here. And this is just a configuration that I have it in. If you don't like this configuration, you can just pick up the lava, and then the spiders will come up to the front, and you can just hit them with your sword, and you'll be safe. This is an old enchanting area that doesn't really have a lot in it, but apparently I had some diamond equipment still over here, so I'll go ahead and snatch that. And I'm going to go ahead and head back up to the top. So one other farm that we have over here at spawn is our Sugarcane and Nether Wart farm, and they are kind of set off in a area of the world that I call our industrial district. It's basically anything that I can make industrial size, I try and keep over here at spawn the best that I can. So let's go ahead and head over to those. The Nether Wart farm, as most Nether Wart farms, is not automatic. There's pretty much no way to automate Nether Wart in the current time of the game. Let me go ahead and head over here and sleep. There we go. We'll just set our spawn back here at spawn. Check that out. All right. Back through the door. Oh, it's all beautiful again. Check that out. All right, over here we have ourselves our Nether Wart farm. And Nether Wart farms can't really be completely automated because you still have to replant the Nether Wart. But you can wash away the Nether Wart off of the soul sand by using water. So if we go ahead and do a harvest here, we flick this, all of the Nether Wart is going to be harvested all at once and end up down here in these hoppers. And then all I have to do is come back through and replant all the Nether Wart on the soul sand. It does still take quite a while, but this is better than, you know, having to individually go and harvest it as well. If I can just click a button and move on with my day, then that is great. Over here, it's kind of hard to see in with the texture pack that I have on, but this is our Sugarcane Farm, and it is powered by flying machines. We come down here and we flick this lever. The flying machines scurry off down into the sugarcane field, knocking all the sugarcane off. And then we have a combination of water streams and minecart tracks going and picking up all of the sugarcane. This is actually not the most efficient way to do sugarcane farms. Obviously, you have the zero-tick farms, which I don't particularly like to use. But you also have a better way to do this design that I found out about much later on, but I may do a video on that if you guys would like to know. There is a better way to do this type of farm with a flying machine that is slightly better than having to use both the mine carts and the water. You can just use mine carts and still have water by using some tricks with water and half slabs. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and flick this lever. All of the mine carts are released, as well as our flying machine heads on down and knocks all of the sugarcane off of its stalks. Whenever the flying machine is on its way back, I go ahead and cut off the machine. That stops the mine carts, and it also stops the flying machine whenever it gets back over here. So the second that I can see our flying machine is heading back this way, like it is right now, I can go ahead, flick this lever, because technically no more sugarcane should be falling. I guess I could have a couple of cases in which it is, but this locks all of the mine carts into this area, and then our flying machine will come back and rest along this wall. Man, this thing's a whole lot harder to explain than it really is. It's really a simple system, but this gives us a ton of sugarcane. Pretty much all the sugarcane that we would ever need for our world happens right here. Moving on, we are moving toward our very first mega project that we did here in this world. We have a couple of mega projects that we did, but this one is kind of the reason for season 1 of the Let's Play. It is the reason that I kind of have fallen in love with this Let's Play. So first and foremost, we have this nice little bridge that I made a while back, and then we will head through the forest and into our first mega build, which is the Nightmare Before Christmas area. If you guys are not familiar with the Nightmare Before Christmas, it is a kind of Halloween, kind of Christmas movie. Basically, it's a holiday style movie, and it includes Jack Skellington and Sally and Dr. Finkelstein and all of these great, amazing characters. And I decided to recreate the set here in my world. As you can see, we have our building over here, which is like the evil Pac-Man building. A lot of these buildings don't have actual names, so I've kind of named them whenever we were creating them. So this we call the evil Pac-Man building. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's not bad. Here we have just a little building for a resident. Over there we have Dr. Finkelstein's laboratory. And Dr. Finkelstein, if you guys did not know, was kind of an evil scientist, an evil genius, I guess you could say. And he did experiments on people, and he also is kind of the reason that so much mischief happens around Halloween Town. So what I did was inside of his area, I did some pretty dark things. I have, you know, here's a sheep head, and then he does some type of experiment, and it ends up a llama, and then his last experiment burns it to death. Poor sheep. Poor sheep. R.I.P. sheep. In here, we have ourselves a bit of a torture chamber. We have ourselves some type of abomination that he has created, and then he has some tools here that he uses to experiment on that little guy. Man, this is a really dark area. Up here is his study. This is just a general area for him to do his research in. And then if we head up to the top, we have the electroshock experimentation room. And as you can see, we have ourselves a little friend up here on the experimentation table. And he is open up to the lightning strikes. And this is a really cool build. I absolutely loved doing this. But anyway, this is Dr. Finkelstein's laboratory. Kind of a cool, interesting build. I tried to build mostly with lore whenever we did all of our buildings for this area. So if we didn't actually have a resident that lived there, I tried to put a bit of lore into the world while we were creating it in order to give us a bit of backstory. Over here we have one of our towers. This is just a general tower. Nobody really lives here, but I did put a cow farm on the inside of this guy, and it provides us a fair amount of leather. It's nothing special by any means. This is the graveyard keeper. As you can see, we have a small little graveyard here, and this was a graveyard that we gave to our Patreons. Basically, what would happen is if somebody's became a patron over on our Patreon page, I would put their name here in the world. So we have Spiderweb Ninja's name here. We have the New Beast in here. We also have Minecraft Master 1. There's a couple other people that I need to put on signs in here, but I think I'm going to save that for Season 2 because I have some more special. Let's call it special. It's going to be some more interesting, unique things to do for Season 2 in order to show you guys some support. But over here we have our cat building, which looks a little bit like, kind of like a mouse, to be honest with you. It looks like a very angry mouse, but it's supposed to be a kitty cat. And the lore here is that there was a creature in The Nightmare Before Christmas that actually looked like a black cat. So we made a cat building, and this is actually a building that is in The Nightmare Before Christmas as well. This is the demon building, and I don't know who actually lived here in the movie The Nightmare Before Christmas. There was a devil in the movie, so I imagine that he kind of lived here, but that's not really important to this world because I used this building for our super smelter. This has a super smelter in it, and it also has a concrete maker in it. So as you can see here, this is our line of furnaces. This smelts up a ton of stuff en masse if we need it to. And then upstairs here, we have ourselves a concrete machine. Basically, we put the powdered concrete in here, and it is dispensed into our inventory, and the regular concrete comes out here. As you can see, I was making some concrete earlier today for a project that you've seen clips of, but haven't seen the finished project of. That is the Enchanted Forest that we will visit much later on in this episode. Moving on, we have the piece de resistance of the entire Nightmare Before Christmas area, and that is the Townhall. This was the very first building that we did here, and everyone's favorite. I took a kind of a question in my Discord server. If you guys are not in my Discord server, I highly recommend you joining. But I took a poll, and everybody says that this is their favorite building, the massive Town Hall. And this is also our storage room. If we head on the inside, we have some bulk storage in shulker boxes, and we also have some hand storage where I sort things out by hand into all of these different chests. We'll also be heading down underneath here in a few minutes, but I have some more things to show you guys. By the way, this is going to be a very long world tour. I'm sorry. We just got so much done in Season 1. It's really kind of insane that this entire world is coming to an end. Or not this world is coming to an end. We're still going to be playing in the same world for Season 2, but we're going to be doing a new mega project. This is it for the Nightmare Before Christmas. We're going to be wrapping that up in today's video. Anyway, this is Jack Skellington's house, or Jack Skellington's mansion. It is a big, big mega project that took me several days to complete, and still it's technically not fully complete. The outside is done, but the inside is just kind of sectioned off into floors, but there's no actual interior to any of this. It's just kind of empty. I didn't really have time to to finish off the interior. I may come back on a stream during Season 2 and touch up some of the unfinished projects around here, but the main bulk of the Nightmare Before Christmas is done. Heading over here, we have a couple of sheep that you can hear underground, and that is in our vampire building. This is our vampire's house, and in the house, we have a very normal-looking area. We have ourselves a kitchen. Up above that, we have ourselves a study, and up above that, we have ourselves a vampire room that has himself a coffin instead of a bed. So that's pretty cool. This guy's kind of messy. He leaves some crumbs from his food, aka blood on the floor. But if we head down into the very bottom of his house, we will get into an area that has a much darker tale. This is his blood room. This is his, I guess, his blood sanctuary. This is where he stores all of the blood that he gets from little Larry over here and stores it over in these barrels. And these barrels, as you can see, are just kind of leaking blood on the floor. This is his feeding area. This is where our vampire sucks up the blood. And it's kind of a cool little lore thing that we put down here in the basement. And this also leads over into our sheep farm, where we are collecting all of the wools possible in Minecraft. So we have them all in a kind of color order. We have our reds going down to our blues, and then we have our blacks going up to our pinks up there. And basically this is just automatic shearing of sheep over and over again with dispensers. I wanted to keep this kind of close by our area just so that we could constantly have this loaded. In fact, most of the shears are probably broken at this point, but that's fine. I have plenty of wool. I can come and replace the shears later on if needed. Let's go ahead and head out of the back of this area. We gave our vampire an escape out of the back and into his neighbor's house. That way he could go and visit his neighbors if and when he wanted to during the daytime without ever having to leave and get into the sun. All right, we can head back over to the courtyard area, and I'll kind of show you guys from where our center courtyard is. We have kind of this side area, and first and foremost, we have two more buildings that don't really have a lot of lore to them, and then we have the spider building, which is kind of a famous building from the Nightmare Before Christmas. There is a room in each and every one of these buildings, by the way, a place for someone to sleep if it is needed, so that is another little bit of lore. In fact, we'll go ahead and head into the spider building real quick just to get ourselves a bit of sleep and sleep away the nighttime. By the way, the Nightmare Before Christmas area here does theoretically look a lot better at nighttime. I guess I can give you guys a quick flyover of this area. I think that this area looks a lot better at night, but it looks pretty good during the day as well. So let's go ahead and head into our spider building up here. We'll take ourselves a bit of sleep. Like I said, very compact areas sometimes in these buildings, but they do look rather nice, I think. All right, heading on up, we can go and see our poo-poo plant. This is our sewage facility. This is the facility that is taking care of all the sewage from the Nightmare Before Christmas area. Over here, we have ourselves a barn, and in this barn, we have ourselves a melon and pumpkin farm. And around back, we actually have stables that go on top of the melon and pumpkin farm. And these stables house some of our skeletal horses from the series. We have Jangle over here, and we also have a a donkey that likes to escape, who we called Houdini. So we have a couple of animals over here as well, and I left the green pastures just for them to feed on instead of redoing all of the land with this coarse dirt and podzol. Pretty much everything in the Nightmare Before Christmas area, if you haven't noticed, the land is redone everywhere. It is redone with grass, the coarse dirt, and the podzol everywhere inside of this area. We also have the gray custom trees that I quite like. They're supposed to be dead trees, and I think that they look pretty good. Over here, we have ourselves a little small starter house. This is just a little bitty house that doesn't really have a huge interior or anything on the inside, but it's nice and it's quaint, and I think it fills in the city quite well. Over here, we have another one of those types of houses, just a small, quaint house with no interior. I really don't like doing interiors. I'm not very good at them, so I kind of leave a lot of our buildings blank, but I may come back, like I said, in a live stream and redo some of those. Over here we have ourselves the graveyard, and this is an area that we just did recently in an episode. I'll try and put a card on screen if you'd like to go and see that, but this is a graveyard filled with gravestones and skulls, and it's supposed to be kind of a creepy vibe in this area, and I think that we accomplished that pretty well. And then the entire, I guess, marketing for the Nightmare Before Christmas, the thing that everyone thinks of for the Nightmare Before Christmas is this hill. This is the curly hill, or whatever you want to call it. This is the hill that everyone thinks of when they think of the Nightmare Before Christmas, because Jack and Sally did their duet on top of this hill, and I had to include this into the world, and I think that it came out great. In fact, I even did a path up the back of the hill, so if you want to, you can come up to the top of the hill, and you can do yourself a duet up here on top of the hill, and sing or whatever you want to do. But I had to include this into the world because it's such an iconic part of the Nightmare Before Christmas. Heading on from the graveyard, we do have an area that is going off in that direction, but we will have to visit that later. We'll have to definitely visit that later. That's going to be where we end off today's world tour. Let's go ahead and take flight, though, and I am going to skip past the sewers and go directly over to our Squid Farm. This is probably our most efficient farm in the world. It provides us about, I think it's somewhere around 18,000 squid ink per hour, which is just insane. And once again, with this texture pack, you can't really see through, but it's basically layers upon layers of fence gates and water. And all of this squid ink falls down into a pit that is down here. Oh, I missed my ladder. But anyway, all the squid ink falls down there, and I have a switch that is up top that will release minecarts, and those minecarts will go and pick up all of the squid ink, and then through some water elevator action, we will end up with all of the squid ink right up here. Nice. So that is our Squid Farm. Really, really overpowered Squid Farm. Absolutely love that thing. And in order to get here, we are supposed to go through the sewers, which our sewers are not done yet. But if we go ahead and head over to the end over here, we do have this. And this is kind of the feel for the sewers that we were going for. Kind of a moldy, grimy area with some relatively dim lighting. And if we go ahead and head up to the top up here, you'll actually see that this brings us back out to the courtyard in the Nightmare Before Christmas area. So just like so. And, hello? Can we please work ladder? Thank you. That'd be great. Okay, let's time this out. There we go. Perfect. And now you can see we're back here in front of the town hall. So many more things left to show you, though. We have not even been into the Nether yet, which is something that I showed you guys in the pre-roll of this video. So let's go ahead and head down, and you'll see that we have ourselves a nice little quaint area down here. We have some furnaces. We have ourselves a panda from that update. We have some foxes from that update. And if we head into the Nether, we will end up in our Nether Hub. And our Nether Hub is very important to the world because it connects everything up. It connects all of our different areas up in the world. And I love this place. I absolutely adore how this came out. We have different levels here in the Nether Hub. We have different kind of mirror tricks that I'm using with a bunch of glass stacked on top of each other. We have just a crazy looking area here. And as always, it does have lore to it. Our lore, whenever we designed the Nether Hub and we designed this area, was that there was a sorcerer. And this sorcerer found these purple crystals, these magenta crystals, aka the magenta glass. He found these crystals, and these crystals were super powerful, and he's able to harness these crystals in order to destroy things like dragons, and in order to corrupt the world around him. And he uses these crystals, and he's obsessed with these crystals, and he uses them as decoration. And this entire world is basically, or this entire area is basically a kind of a layer to this fictional sorcerer who is using these crystals to power his powers and his obsession. Really cool dynamic that we have here, especially whenever we implemented it into our tunnels over here. We haven't completed this area yet, but it's something that we're going to work on slowly over time, and everything will eventually look something like that or something like this. This is one of our boat raceways that leads us over to our Wither Skeleton Skull Farm. I'm not going to show you any of that stuff. I know it's a farm and a lot of you guys are really interested in that. I think that you should go and watch that video though if you want to see that farm, because it's a little bit too much for me to explain here, and it's not exactly the prettiest thing either. Over in that direction, we have the end, and we also have the 1.14 village. Those are two areas that I don't really go to a lot anymore, so I'm going to skip those on the world tour as well. But if you would like to check out videos with those, I would probably skip the 1.14 village videos, to be honest with you, because those are kind of useless now because they've changed villagers so many times, and those villagers are kind of pointless now. But if you want to check out some of our end episodes, like the Wither Rose Farm and stuff like that, I'll try to leave an iCard on screen if you want to check those out. All right, and heading to our last major area in the world is going to be our Atlantis area. Atlantis. It is a lot of people's favorite build. Like, there's two builds in this world. If I ask about the Nightmare Before Christmas area, what is everyone's favorite build from the Nightmare Before Christmas? Everyone always says the Townhall. But if I ask everyone what is their favorite area, a lot of people say Atlantis, and I love the Atlantis area. I don't know that I love it more than our Nightmare Before Christmas, but it is a really cool area, and it doesn't have as many of those dark tones that the Nightmare Before Christmas area has, and I think that's why a lot of people really tend to like this area. There's also some cool little features in this area as well that we're heading to, so I'll be sure to point those out whenever we get there. Let's go ahead and head through the portal, and first and foremost, what we're going to come up on is a place that is kind of a mixture of biomes that are super important to the world. First and foremost, we have an Ice Spikes biome, which has been super important for us getting any type of blue ice that we've needed. Over in the other area, we have ourselves, if it'll load in, we have ourselves a mesa, and then right down here, you'll see we have a ring built in the water down here, and this is our Dolphin Super Speedway. And if we fly through this ring, or I guess if we swim through this ring, you'll see that we take off super quickly through the water, and this is how we get to our Atlantis area. We just fly through these rings, and then bada bing, bada boom, we're at Atlantis. And I love this area. I love how it came out. It is probably my favorite build that's not the Nightmare Before Christmas in the world, because the Nightmare Before Christmas was just kind of a special thing to me, but I totally see why people love this area, because underneath the water, it has this very glowy effect. It's very ominous. Is that the word that I'm looking for? I don't know that that's the word that I'm looking for, but it's very big, bold, beautiful. And then if you go above the water, it's just this monstrosity of just like grandness. I love how it's technically all one build, but just the difference between the underwater and the above water, that contrast, just, it's beautiful. It really is. I love how this build came out. And on the inside of this, there's actually farms. There are 4 Guardian farms built inside of this guy. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then all of the items from the Guardians end up here in these chests. As you can see, we have some prismarine shards. We have some prismarine crystals. We got a lot of stuff. If we ever need to build with prismarine stuff in the future, we have plenty of it. It is not even an issue. Something that I do need to check on real quick, though, is do I have any more rockets or paper? Because we're going to be heading over to our creeper farm, and it would be nice if I had some paper to make some more rockets. I obviously was not prepared to use all of those rockets in today's episode. I was hoping to have paper. Oh, we have sugarcane. That'll work. So let's go over here, make ourselves some paper, and that will do. I really need to come and clean up all of these chests from around the world. I may do that off camera in between the 2 seasons. But anyway, heading over to our creeper farm, we actually have a mushroom island biome just off the, I guess this is kind of the southeast edge of our world. And if we go ahead and take flight, you will see us end up in that mushroom island biome, and you'll also see a gigantic creeper farm right here in the world. Let's go ahead and take a sleep real quick. You also see we have a ton of chests over here from doing all of the digging out that it took. And this is our creeper farm. I'll try and remember to leave an iCard on screen here if you guys want to check this video out. And it is quite the epic one. But basically what this is tons of creepers spawn in, and they are scared of cats, and they fall down here into their death, where we are collecting up all of their materials, and we have a ridiculous amount of gunpowder anytime that we need it here in the world. Now, I do believe that our minecart... No, it's not stuck. Perfect. Let's go ahead and flip that guy off. Because this thing can get stuck. This lever, I guess, can get stuck every now and then. So, anyway, that is our creeper farm, and we now have enough rockets to continue with the episode. And I actually need to head back to the spawn area to show you our very last build of the entire season of Season 1, and where we are going to end the Let's Play of Season 1, and we will begin anew in Season 2. Let's go ahead and dive into the water back here, and I will meet you guys back at our Nightmare Before Christmas area. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back at the Nightmare Before Christmas area, and it is time to check out our final build of the season. This is going to wrap up Season 1, and we will have a bit of a break between Season 1 and Season 2. And this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is the end of the Nightmare Before Christmas build here in the videos. Like I said, I may do some touch-up work from time to time here in this area on streams and stuff. But the main portion of this area is done. It is complete. And there's one last thing that you guys know that we had to add into the world. And that is the Enchanted Forest. The Enchanted Forest is key to the Nightmare Before Christmas because it is the place that Jack Skellington learns about Christmas. And this is where Jack Skellington also gets the idea to become Santa Claus himself, thus putting the entire movie into action. This is probably the most important build, and that is why this video has been so delayed, is that it is one of our most epic builds. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and let's head that way. Underneath our spider here and through the graveyard, we go into the Enchanted Forest. And ladies and gentlemen, it is kind of surreal at this point to think that we are actually ending Season 1 and beginning Season 2. You guys have been so supportive throughout this season, and I can't thank you guys enough. We started this season at, I want to say we had like 5,000 subscribers, maybe. That may be even overshooting it. And we have increased from there to over 30,000 subscribers. That is absolutely insane, and I hope that that growth continues into Season 2 because we have some epic plans for Season 2. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, through the forest we go and into our brand new Enchanted Forest. Let's go ahead and turn off our HUD and get you guys a beautiful feel for this area. Everything is so beautiful. Everything is so enchanted. And then we head into this area that is so dark and creepy. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The Christmas tree at the end of this area. All of the paths lead toward Christmas, toward the end of the year, toward the end of the season. The Christmas tree, the Valentine's Day tree, the Thanksgiving tree, the 4th of July tree. This is supposed to be fireworks. I know it looks like a present. It's supposed to be fireworks. We have the Halloween tree, we have the St. Patrick's Day tree, and we have the Easter tree. And ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are going to wrap up Season 1. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. I will see you guys with Season 2 after the holidays. There's still plenty of content that's going to be coming out on the channel for Terraria, and we'll have Season 2 out very soon after Christmas. But guys, this is where I'm going to wrap up the season. This is where I'm going to wrap up the Nightmare Before Christmas. I do hope that you guys enjoyed. And, you know, this isn't the end. This isn't the end of this particular project. Because coming next year, in November of 2020, we will begin work on our holiday season. So we're going to have Season 1, Season 2, our holiday season, and then Season 3. Our holiday season where we create Christmas Town. And we're going to implement Halloween Town that we have here, and then we're going to basically get ourselves over to Christmas Town. So this won't be the last that you see of this area, so do not fret about that. This is just a monumental point where we are wrapping up Season 1, because in Season 2, we're going to be building a kingdom. A kingdom with ports and villages and castles, and we're going to go all out here on the channel for Season 2, and then we're going to tie back into our roots in our holiday season to make ourselves a Christmas Town. But anyway, guys, that's going to be where I wrap up today's video. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the nostalgia of a year's worth of Let's Play episodes, and I will see you guys in the next one in Season 2. You guys have a great day. Oh, this was a lot harder to do than I thought. A full year. Actually, a little bit over a year of Let's Plays, of time spent in this world on this project. And now we have a whole new project to start. I'm excited. I'm also sad that this, that this season's over. Oh,